We really do know what we're doing. Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. My heart is very full right now. I'm just very grateful to be doing this talk on, to me, a really special, sacred day. I don't think Dawn's here today, but she did a talk about maybe a month and a half ago on speaking on the Christian faith, because we cover a lot of things in here as interfaithers. And there's truth, as we have seen and learned from so many different areas. But I was really appreciative that there really were so many people that really have a strong and deep connection with Jesus. So the title of my talk today is Birthing the Authentic You. But it's really about, and that's kind of a generic thing to fit in this interfaith kind of vernacular here that we sometimes do a little bit of a dance with. Sometimes people resonate stronger with certain things than they do with other, but it's really birthing the Christ consciousness within each of us. I was watching something by Michael Wickett. Some of you may have seen him. He used to speak at the Church of Today when it was Church of Today a long time ago, and he's considered one of the best speakers in the world. And I was watching him, and I'm like, wow, he's just so comfortable and confident. I am not that person. But what I am is I feel like I bring my uncomfortableness, my nervousness, but I also bring my vulnerability in my heart. And that's what I hope comes through today as we kind of go on this experiential ride of birthing that truth of who we are within each of us. Before we do that, though, I just wanted to touch base on a few things. I was making my dish this morning for the potluck, and I was cutting up some carrots. And as soon as I start cutting up carrots, our puppy immediately hears that sound because she gets carrots, right? But the funny thing is, she really doesn't eat them. She just wants to have the carrot, So she'll come up and she sees it, and then you hand her the carrot, and she takes it into the living room. She proceeds to drop it on the floor, and she's done with it, right? But she comes back for more. She wants another one. And I thought, that's kind of like how we are as people sometimes, right? We're like praying to God, like, bring me happiness, help open my heart, help me to experience the truth of who I am. And then all of a sudden, life brings us something, and we say, oh, son of a, that is not what I was looking for, But I find myself trusting more and more that God, life, the universe, is giving us exactly what we need in each moment. And my teacher used to say, there is not one single hair out of place in the universe. It is exactly as it needs to be. And maybe you resonate with that, maybe you don't, but I love it because when I start to stray and I want to make it be about somebody or something else, it brings me right back to myself. And it empowers me in a way to say, I've got a choice of, this is here. What do I want to do with it? And there's a couple quotes that come to my mind. Well, one of the things that I think we've all heard the teachers say, that like kind of the master teachers who walk this earth right now, and the truth is we're all master teachers, whether we acknowledge that or we're aware of that. Of course, we're busy working on that. But in any case, one of the things that they say is all stress is because of our wanting things to be different in life than what they are. That's stress, wanting life to be different than what it is. So I think as we begin to go on this exploration, we kind of take a look at, what are we resisting? Can we let these things go? The other quote that I would like to share is something that has resonated with me for a long time, and that's by Eckhart Tolle. And he said, sometimes you have to let go of who you are not in order to discover who you are. And that's what we're going to be doing in this experiential process, is kind of letting go of who we are not. So what I would like to do, Alora, if you would, this is somewhat of a meditation, and Not quite yet, Alora, but this is somewhat of a meditation. But what I would like to do is I want to create a space where we're about to enter a holy temple. That temple within. That temple that is within every single one of us, whether you believe it or not. And I don't even ask you to believe anything that I'm sharing today, but what I do invite you to do is, when we go on this journey, is to really let go of these things that I'm inviting you to let go of. You can always pick them up when you leave here, and I'm sure they'll be waiting for you. If you'd like to hold on to them, you're welcome to do that. But for this process, it's about emptying our minds out so that we can come from this place of stillness. It's about letting go of the doingness. No effort. It's just about being in this place of just that stillness and that beingness. That's what I would like to create with all of you. So if you would like to enter into this holy temple, can we make this attempt to just really release and let go? Is everybody for this? So as we do, when we do most meditations, I just really want you to get comfortable. We don't need to cross legs or anything. Just allow yourself to sink into the chair. Sink into this moment. Sink into this moment. And I invite you to just take a nice deep breath in and just really let go of any stress, any burdens, any worries that you're carrying. Let us create a sanctuary of stillness. Let us prepare our minds, our bodies, our spirit to enter into this sacred, holy, healing ground. And if you're carrying anything from the past, I invite you to just release all of that from the past. And if you have any projections of what the future is supposed to look like, I invite you to release and let go of all of that. I invite you to let go of your need to have any answers or to figure anything out. Our mind wants to get busy a lot of times when something is not going the way our mind wants it to. And so we get in our heads of, what can I do? Like the smaller I, the mind I, what can I do to figure this out? Rather than getting out of the way and just allowing God, allowing the divinity to flow through us with inspired action, inspired thoughts. I invite you to let go of your need to fix anything in the world. Just letting it be exactly as it is. And again, we can always pick these up. I'm just inviting you right now to let go of our need to change or fix anything in the world right now. Letting go of any control. Take a deep breath on that one. Just letting go of anything that you feel you need to control. And this again is about emptying ourselves out right now in this moment, this very moment. I invite you to let go of your need to hold on to anything. And includes even our physicalness. Just letting go of anything. Sometimes we think we need to hold on to our body or hold on to things that keeps us safe or protected. I'm inviting you to just experience the liberation of letting go of that need to hold on to anything, to know that you are free and liberated right now in this moment. And again, reminding you, you can pick it up later if you want to. And just noticing if there's anything that ties you into your form, to remember that we are not our bodies, we are not our minds. If we were our bodies or our minds, what would happen when we leave them? Do we disappear? Are we no longer? If there truly is this thing called this soul, this divinity that lies within us, there must also be a divine intelligence that we can carry forth when we leave our bodies. And if you have any thoughts that come up, and you will, just notice them. You don't need to push them away. You don't need to make them bad or wrong. Just allow them to be. Just allow them to pass on by. Just to float on by. And I invite you again to just any heaviness, any limiting beliefs or doubts, just releasing those and letting those go. And in this moment, I invite you to let go of your need to use your imagination right now. And it may seem funny or strange, but just completely emptying out any thoughts, just emptying out the mind so that there's just this stillness that's there. I invite you to let go of any blame or judgment of yourself and others. And if you have a struggle of doing it with other people, my invitation is to release it in this moment. And again, you can pick up your, experience after you leave. But for right now, I invite you to let go of all that too. Judgment or blame of anyone else, but especially yourself. Especially yourself. And to let go of waiting for something else to happen that is going to complete us or make us happy or give us that divine experience. No waiting. Right now, there's no waiting. Just letting go of any of that need to say, what is coming up after this? And as you connect with that stillness within, I just invite you to really release any thoughts that would say that you're not enough, that you don't have everything that you need to be happy right now in this moment. The mind might say that either I'm not enough or I need some other kind of experience to connect with that place. But what if there is nowhere to go? What if we didn't need to travel to India, or we didn't need to have some guru here, or what if we didn't need anything but just to let go of? Just to let go of those thoughts and limiting beliefs that block us from experiencing our God essence right now in this moment, right now. So in this place of stillness, I'd like to ask you some questions. I'd like you to ask your questions, and I'd like you to just respond to me out loud, if you would. In this place of just this beingness, does this truth of who you are, does this true nature get sick at all? Does that true nature of who you are, your divine essence, does that get sick at all? No. Does it need to go somewhere else to experience joy or happiness or love? No. Does it need to change anything in the world in order to experience happiness and peace right now? And if you would, if I can hear you louder. No, right. Nothing needs to change. And this is a myth in our minds sometimes, where we get caught in, when this happens, when I have this experience, then I can experience this peace, this joy. That is a myth. That is an illusion. Is there anything this part needs to complete or do in order to experience peace right now? No. So many times we're waiting for some kind of experience, thinking the experience is what brings us joy. We're waiting for something else to happen, and we have that experience where we maybe get something that completes it, and we say, oh, what a beautiful experience. But what if it wasn't the experience at all? What if it was because we let go of our need of that very thing to experience the presence that's here right now? But so many times we're waiting for that next experience to happen. So right now, this is about just noticing that stillness that's there right now. It's about noticing that there's nowhere we need to go. There's nothing we need to do. And in order to experience this peace, this silence, this joy, so I'd like to do a prayer right now as we begin to bring this experiential part to completion. Beloved Creator, and to our friend, our brother, our teacher, Jesus, we know that everything we need is right here, right now. We sometimes are waiting or expecting something else to happen in order for us to experience this. We want to truly let go of all the ego, all the things that get in the way of us just being, to experience that truth of who we are. And we know we have it. We just sometimes forget about what that looks like. So we pray that you help us to remember that truth of who we are. Help us to connect with that aspect of who we are, that we may see it in those around us as well. To know that when we are not in that space, we are simply unaware and being unconscious in that moment. And it's okay that we may have compassion for ourselves, but that we may have the wherewithal to become conscious of that and come back to that stillness within ourselves. And for this, we give thanks. Amen. Laura, thank you so much for all the music there. Hi. I try to be as real as I can be up here because I think in the end, words don't matter as much as being as authentic as I can. And quite honestly, that was really a struggle for me. It was really a struggle for me. And I say that in not need for anything to change, but if I'm truly going to be honest with you and with myself and with God, I think we have to acknowledge each moment, where I feel incredibly uncomfortable right now. And I had expectations of how I wanted this to go. And my mind got in the way and said, what, Spirit or God, it's like, I'll take care of this, don't worry, I've got this, So, what? What's also true for me is I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of worrying about what other people think. I get up here every day, every time I had a talk 2 weeks ago, and with this one, I've got the next 4 weeks. I'm talking all the time. This is not a new experience for me, but it is. It's a new experience because in my mind, it's like, this is Easter, this is special, this is sacred, and I feel those things are all true. But then the mind takes over and says, oh my God, what does this mean? I did a lot of crying on the way over, just trying to release all this going on. And you know what? All the craziness, all the awkwardness, all the fear and the nervousness, how can I say it's not perfect? I mean, that is the teaching, right? The teaching is our stress is when life isn't the way we want it to be. Well, in my mind, it's not the way I want it to be right now. But if I'm able to just step back and say, there's something moving in me. There's something that is ready to move beyond this fear of, needing other people's approval. And God, I am sick of that. I am so tired of that. And I know all of you can relate to some level. We all look for others for approval. Thank you, Rob.
You did beautifully.
Amen, brother. It's okay. Thank you. And I trust that there's a divine perfection behind it all. I felt God with me this whole morning. And sometimes I also feel God when God lets me kind of sink a little bit and fall a little bit and know that that is perfect as well. This isn't about this perfect ride that we're all going to get, it's like, woohoo, that was great. This is wonderful, It's a freaking roller coaster ride sometimes. It really is. But the cool thing, what I once heard with the Human Awareness Institute, they said, there's two ways to ride a roller coaster. One is where you've got anxiety and you're just ridden with fear the whole time and you don't enjoy the ride at all. But there's the other one that's like, yeah, this is scary, but this is good, this is fun, and there is that aspect of it because when I'm sitting out there, I'm like wishing I was up here, So I don't know, maybe more than the meditation or whatever I have to offer, it's like It's okay, and we can be present with those thoughts that say, I'm scared or nervous, and just notice them, to know that they're not bad or wrong or need to push them away, but to know that they're absolutely perfect. And yeah, do I have fear? Yeah, I got a bunch of it coming up. But I also trust that there's something that this serves. And I know in my heart that I won't be the same person when I walk away. And my hope is that you won't either. But I have to let go of my attachment to that, right? It's like, however your experience is, whether you connect with the fear and my uncomfortableness or whatever, if it stirs something up within you, then you're welcome. And my guess is it probably does. So I've been going here for not quite 2 years, and the truth is, I'm just so in love with all of you. I'm in such a place of gratitude for having an experience with what this center brings. That there's such heart, and there's such a sacred heartfulness that shows up for me every time I show up here. And so for me to be a part of that, I'm just grateful. And I hope all of you have a beautiful Easter, and I hope in some way this contributes to your world. Thank you so much.